Hi, it's Maggie, the Irish Gypsy here too. I have this feeling my hair's floating all in my face. It's Maggie, the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your December 2018 mid-month general reading. Thank you for joining us here today. Welcome to any newcomers. Thanks to everybody for all of your feedback and comments, likes, shares, and subscribes. Thanks to all of my clients out there, both regular and new. You guys keep me so busy with personal one-on-one readings. Thank you so much. And if any of you are interested in a personal one-on-one reading with me, live or recorded, you can get more information by either clicking on the description bar of the videos I post, or you can go to my YouTube channel's homepage and click on the little About button there. I do readings full-time, 5 to 6 days a week. It is what I do, so turnaround time is usually pretty good, although during the holiday season, the sooner booked, the better. And I can usually get back to you within the same day or the first 24 hours of your initial contact. So if you're interested, please send me an email directly at Maggie1McGuire at gmail.com. You'll see all that information under my contact details. I do a wide variety of readings of all different types and lengths in all the main areas of life. So send me an email if you're interested and we'll set something up for you. You can also find me on the smartphone app Instantgo under Irish Gypsy. That link is also provided. That's good for fast answers to the quick, easy, simple questions. So another option to look at. But for the traditional readings or a complex issue, the traditional readings are probably best. So let's move right into this. This reading is for the water sign of Scorpio for the remainder of 2018. So we're looking just at the last couple of weeks of December for Scorpio or Scorpions. If you know your rising and your moon sign, watch those videos as well. They can provide additional clarification because general readings always resonate a little differently for everybody watching. Okay, Scorpio, let's see what's in store for you for December. We have the Emperor, followed by the Hierophant, Death or Transformation, followed by the Fool, and from the bottom of the deck, your overall energy and guidance is the Lovers. Holy cow, Scorpio! Well, my lovely, deep, intense Scorpios, it looks like it's going to be a deep and intense remainder of December 2018 because you have nothing but major arcana cards here. Divine timing and orchestration, energies of God, Spirit, your angels and guides. Typically, when a major arcana card shows up in an area of your life, in a reading, it usually represents that in that area of your life or in that facet of that area of your life, there's significant divine energy. There'll be significant life shifts and changes or the opportunity for that. And yours is all that energy. And your overall spread that we did at the beginning of the month was quite lovely. Although filled with work, I think, and the beginning, kind of the dawning realization of what it was going to take to kind of collaborate and move forward with something or someone. So it looks like there's a lot of, potential changes, endings, and a rebirth occurring here too. The overall energy is the Lovers, which usually shows up when there's an important decision to be made. In fact, in the early decks, this was called the Choice, not the Lovers, and it showed a man standing in front of two women or a woman standing in front of two men, the implication being that a choice was going to have to be made that would significantly affect the lives of everyone involved. Now, when the Lovers comes up, it does not necessarily mean you're choosing between two people or somebody else is choosing between you and somebody else, although maybe for some of you that could be the case. But it represents an important choice, a significant choice that's kind of in front of you. That's the overall energy and focus for the remainder of December, the last couple of weeks of December or so. Time's always fluid. And it looks like this decision will either be about a significant relationship which would affect it, or the decision could be about something else which would significantly affect this relationship. And I feel like, because straight up, this is has to do with a relationship. I try to interpret the cards from all different facets of life, but there are sometimes like this where, you could apply it to career, work, and finance. It could be a choice about career, work, and finance, which may affect a significant or primary relationship or friendship of some kind. But I think for many of you, this is straight up relationship, either a really, really close or best friend or your love romance partner. So it looks like there's a choice that needs to be made by one of you, by both of you. Ideally, in a partnership, it's two of you together. And perhaps it's about whether to end something and move forward into some new beginning, or the potential of a new beginning, or what the potential is if something ends and moves forward, whether you move forward together or you move forward apart. Some of you this may be dealing with, an Aries sign. We have the Emperor followed by the Hierophant. I feel like for many of you, Scorpio, the Emperor, it could be you, which represents someone with, seniority, maybe even older age, self-control, self-discipline, important status-making decision, authority. Sometimes can be a bit on the rigid, controlling side because he has an entire empire to run. Could be an Aries individual. But for many of you, while this could be you, I feel like for many of you, this is the other person. I feel that quite strongly. And what clarifies the Emperor is the Hierophant. Now, the Hierophant is convention, tradition, walking the prescribed path, going along with what everybody else is doing, what the convention and tradition is, social norms, family, cultural identity norms, large corporations, businesses, institutions. It's a good accompanying or descriptor card to the Emperor. But the Hierophant also represents a higher level of awareness, learning, it could be somebody, this other person maybe is seeing a counselor, a therapist, a mentor of some kind in this decision-making process and about this decision-making process. And that with the Hierophant, he's learning new things about himself or herself, coming to a higher and more enlightened level of learning about themselves too. It feels like the other person is going through quite a bit of transformation too, that's been fueled by something painful maybe that happened between the two of you. And there's this decision, obviously, with the Lover's card that needs to happen here. And I feel like both of you, and particularly the other person, is considering all the ramifications very intensely. And I know you are Scorpio because you're Scorpio. So at or towards the end of December 2018, we have Death and the Fool. So, wow, it's like opposite ends here. So we have death, we have an ending. Usually when death shows up, whatever is ending has been in place for quite some time. It's the death of something old that needs to die. It needs to be buried and be done with once and for all so that rebirth can occur. Because birth follows death, beginnings follow endings. In every ending are the seeds for the next path, a new beginning. That's the way that it works. That's life energetic cycle here. Something needing to die, a complete death. The ground being completely cleared out, so that it can be ready to plant new seeds and grow and manifest something else down the road. And what clarifies it and accompanies it is the Fool, my favorite major arcana card. He is at the beginning. He has a 0, the first major arcana card in the tarot. He is filled with the promise and potential of what lies ahead after this, ending. How do we move forward? How do we move forward together? Do we move forward apart? What's the potential and the possibility of this? How do we make this happen? There's an ending, which means there's opportunity for transformation, and that's what the Fool is about. He's about maybe doing something risky, taking a big leap of faith, because the Fool is a trailblazer. He doesn't want to walk in everybody else's shoes. He wants to blaze his own trail. The potential and possibility of what could be out there, taking a risk, stepping outside your comfort zone, doing something different, doing something you've never done before. For some of you, I feel like it could be saying no, or the ending of the potential of a new beginning. But I feel like for a lot of you, you and whoever else this is, particularly your partner, I feel like they're really trying hard to grow and expand. And I feel like this cycle, however it ends, is coming to an end, because there needs to be a leap of faith. There needs to be a movement into a new direction. It's going to play out differently for everybody watching. Some of you, this might mean an ending to this relationship, and that's the decision on the table. I feel like for I feel like for many of you, it's not going to be a breakup. I'm not seeing cards or feeling like I would if it were that clear for the majority of you. Um, and also your overall month that we did at the beginning of the month looked like there was, a lot of work still left to be done, and you were just coming to an understanding of that. Perhaps your partner was as well, and that the month ended really well. And so I still feel like the majority of you, this is going to end well, and there's going to be the death of something old so that something new can start. And death has its own, it has its own painful struggles as well. It's not always easy to let something die to move forward, because, even with the spirit of the fool, it's about stepping into the unknown. So, that can be quite challenging too. But I feel like it's quite positive. The process may have been or is painful or difficult, challenging, maybe full of anxieties and fears, but I feel like it's going to work out pretty well. Let me just pull a clarifying card about what this Lover's card, this decision, is about. It looks like ending, new beginnings to me, but let's take a look. A brand new beginning, one that holds the potential and promise of leading to something more stable, because tens are completion. We're just starting out here with the Ace of Pentacles, earth energy, solidity, stability, security. So it's a brand new, an opportunity to start over again in a very real, practical way, and working towards something that has stability and success. Let's see what's the most likely outcome for the people watching. What's the most likely outcome? What are we working towards? What's the highest potential? If the work is done and the fears are faced. The Happy Home card. The place where everything kind of comes together, particularly in an emotional sense, connected with home, family, marriage, childbirth, reunions. So again, I feel like for many of you, while it's not easy, and lovely, deep, intense Scorpios, sometimes these relationship areas of our life can be quite challenging, and because our waters tend to run so deep. But I feel like it's going to end pretty well for all of you. There's an ending coming. And again, for some of you, it might be the decision is to end the relationship and to move forward again separately. That can always be the case in a general reading where there's so many of you watching. But I feel like for many of you, it's not. It's deciding to let something die a natural death that needs to, so that you can step forward into a new beginning together and work towards a new beginning. And it is work, and to face the fears that are required in order to do that. So Scorpio, that pretty much wraps up your December 2018 mid-month general reading. I hope you found it helpful and useful. Very powerful, very intense reading, Scorpio. It'll be interesting to see the feedback on this one. Again, if any of you are interested in a more personal, private one-on-one reading with me, please feel free to email me directly at maggie1mcguire@gmail.com. I'd be most happy to work with you and set up a reading as quickly as we can. And I will see you again in a couple of weeks for the January 2019 beginning of a new year readings. And until then, Scorpio, as always, I wish you joy, peace, blessings, and a happy life, particularly as we finish out this holiday season and start a new year. Take care, Scorpio. I hope to see you back here again soon. Bye-bye.